For more, let's bring in Nebraska Senator Pete Ricketts. Senator, Amy Klobuchar, boy, howdy, did she have her hat handed to her when she shared that little story. One, the couple that it was referencing, they decided to retire early, and she wants the American taxpayer to deliver to them $15,000 a year in handouts so that the Democrats can continue to pretend that Obamacare isn't a financial catastrophe and maybe isn't a handout to enrich the insurance companies. And this is right before people go on Medicare and will siphon off $3 for every dollar they paid into Medicare. Senator, how do you see it?
Lisa, the facts of the matter are that what we're talking about is pandemic subsidies. So we're not talking about Obamacare going away. We're talking about the boost that Democrats, in a very partisan way, no Republicans voted for this, boosted the subsidies under Obamacare during the pandemic. Now, the pandemic's been over for 4 years. And when we're talking about, say, somebody who's at the 100% of the poverty level, say maybe a little over $32,000, you're 30 years old, married, 2 kids, you're going to see your premium increase by about $45 because that's the amount that Democrats boosted it. If you're like at 500% of the poverty level, which, by the way, Obamacare was never designed for those people, that's when you're going to end up paying like maybe $500 a month or more. But that's somebody making, a couple with 2 kids making $160,000 a year. That's way above the median income of people in my state. So what we're talking about is pandemic subsidies. The Democrats have gotten this all wrong. This is about them playing games, political games, on a bipartisan bill. Remember, the CR, this clean CR, continuing resolution we're voting on, has been voted by 100% of Democrats, or nearly 100% of Democrats, 4 times over the last 18 months. They're completely hypocritical, but now they're holding this up and trying to say it's about health care when it's about pandemic subsidies.
Yeah, but the system's broken, right? It's called the Affordable Care Act, but it's not affordable because it needs government subsidies for people to afford it, which sort of explains the problem here. So what can we do about it?
Clearly, this Affordable Care Act is just what you said, not affordable. And in fact, that's what the Democrats are acknowledging by saying they need these pandemic subsidies, that if it's only affordable with the pandemic subsidies, Obamacare is a failure. The Affordable Care Act needs to be renamed the Unaffordable Care Act. So, and part of what's going on here, all these premiums, all the subsidies, they go to insurance companies, and we need to look at reforming the system so that we can have people working with their doctors, that we're providing. If we're going to provide things, ways for people to help pay for health care, let's provide it for them directly and let them decide how they want to pay for their health care. Let's open up opportunities. There's a number of things that have been proposed by Republicans over the years, like being able to buy insurance across state lines, going back to high-risk pools at states. I mean, these are just a couple of the ideas that Republicans have talked about. There are reforms we can do to be able to help make health care insurance more affordable and give people access to health care. But the Democrats have consistently blocked all these in favor of this big one-payee government system they're trying to get to.
But, Senator, you and the Republicans need to remind everyone these aren't just subsidies. These are these supersized subsidies that were passed after COVID was over. Not one Republican ever voted for them. It cost the American people almost $50 billion a year, about $500 billion over a decade, and not one Republican should vote for any of it. But I want to move on to speaking of what the Democrats won't vote for. They will vote in favor of paying for the people who work. The procedural vote today on paying federal workers who have been on the job failed in the Senate. There were only 3, to my count, 3 Democrats who voted for it: John Fetterman, Ossoff, and the fellow senator from Georgia
Warnock.
Yeah, Warnock. Why the heck can't they vote to pay people who are working? They're the party of paying for their own political power.
This is, again, the result of the Schumer shutdown. Chuck Schumer is a hypocrite. He has said shutdowns are bad in the past. This is part of the hypocrisy. We have offered a bill, Ron Johnson, the Shutdown Fairness Act. Hey, these are people that are working to keep us safe. They're air traffic controllers, they're law enforcement officers, they're military. They are working, they're showing up every day. The least we can do is actually pay them and make sure they get a regular paycheck. And the Democrats voted against it, except for the three that you mentioned already. And this is the hypocrisy of what's going on in the Democrat Party right now. Again, getting back to, they've already voted for this bipartisan solution. Again, the Republicans are the only ones offering a bipartisan solution here. They voted for this already 4 times in the last 18 months, and now all of a sudden they can't vote for it. They're the ones that are causing families to suffer. In fact, Chuck Schumer has said himself, hey, every day gets better for us. But the us clearly doesn't mean us as in Americans or people from my home state of Nebraska. The us means his political partisan reason as a Democrat, and that's why this is such hypocrisy.
Yep, Senator, 12 separate times in the Senate, Democrats have said no. And then also, in addition to what you said about Senator Chuck Schumer, Democrat Whip Catherine Clark has said that this suffering gives them leverage. So we'll continue to follow this. Senator Pete Ricketts, thanks for joining us, sir.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.